Good morning, my friends. Happy Thursday and welcome to a sunny day here in Minnesota, and welcome back to my vlog for a what I eat in a day / day in the life vlog. For those of you that might have stumbled across this video by accident, hello, my name is Brianna, the diva behind Diva and the Divine, and your healthy homemaker, sharing my life's journey through health, habits, happiness, and of course, homemaking. Today, we have a schedule to keep. We have a recipe to make, which actually I'm going to go downstairs and do right now, you guys. This recipe is life-changing. I wish I could take credit for it, but I cannot. We are making the Skinnyish Dishes biscuits and gravy bake, and oh my gosh, you are going to love it. And then we're just going to kind of see where the day takes us. I've been in a very reflective mood lately. I'm waiting for Aunt Flo to show up. She could come at any moment, so we're kind of in like we are in that late luteal phase, like mentality, and it's been a really interesting week, but I'm excited to share my day with you. So I'm glad you're here. Let's come along and get this day started. So when I tell you that this is ridiculously easy to make, I'm not kidding. Now, to be fair, I have a couple of elements already prepped because when it came to having to purchase the ingredients, I had to buy things in double the quantity that the recipe called for. So for example, she called for a 7.5 ounce can of buttermilk biscuits. I couldn't find that. So I got one that was like, I don't know, 16 ounces, 15 ounces. And so I ended up taking half of it to make my first round of it. And then I just diced up the other half so it was ready to go. So I knew I was making two. And the same with the turkey sausage. The container of turkey sausage that I purchased was 16 ounces and the recipe only called for 8. So I cooked all of it up, divided it in half, and I knew that later in the week I was going to be making this again. So 2 of my ingredients are already prepped. So what you need for this recipe are biscuits, turkey sausage, egg beaters or egg whites, but I used egg beaters to get the yellow egg thing happening. Cheese, it called for cheddar cheese, but this is what I have, so this is what I'm using. And original country gravy mix from McCormick. So the first thing that I have to do, the only thing I have to prep is I actually have to make this gravy, which doesn't take very long. It's super simple thanks to the gravy mix. And then all we do is put everything together and put it in the oven. All right, so the gravy, like I said, is stinking easy. All you do is you put the mix in a pot and you whisk in 2 cups of cold water. And then while that's mixing and mixing, you turn it on. And then you stir this frequently until it comes to a boil. After it comes to a boil, all you do is you turn it off and you let it sit for a minute and it will thicken all on its own. And it's great. It's easy, it's great, it's delicious, and it doesn't take very long. So we're gonna go ahead and just get this gravy going, and I will be back to build the casserole. All right, now that the gravy is finished cooking, we're going to go ahead and build our casserole. Like I said, it's a little bit more complicated if you haven't already prepped your ingredients, but either way, it's super easy and it doesn't take a lot of time at all. I have found you're supposed to cut up the biscuits. She doesn't necessarily specify to what size, so I actually cut them up into pretty little chunks because I believe that the smaller chunks means that there is more space or less space between little bits and pieces, so you feel like you get more biscuit in every bite. So I have chopped them up into little chunks and I'm just going to get them all spread out here into the pan and then we will continue. Alright, now that that's done, we are going to take the egg beaters, and the recipe calls for 1.5 cups. I'm putting in 2 cups because that's what's left in the container. So it'll have a little bit more egg beater in it, which is fine. A little bit of extra protein never hurt anybody. So you just pour that on top just like so. Oh, that's bright. So that's what that looks like with, you know, better lighting. Then we take our gravy. As you can see, the gravy is cooked and has gotten really nice and thick. It doesn't pour as easily as I would like it to, in terms of like, let's get a pretty layer over everything, although this one's going better than the first one did. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm just gonna kind of set it in there and then I kind of just mush it around a little bit, I guess, to try and make sure that there is gravy somewhere in every piece. You wanna make sure you get all that gravy goodness going in with the big guns here. You wanna make sure you get it all. Look at that. Look at all of that was gonna be left behind. Come on. Now it is time for the turkey sausage. And again, you just kind of sprinkle it over there. Try and get it as spread out as possible. All right, and that's done. Now this goes into the oven for 20 minutes and then we're gonna pull it out and then we will add the cheese and then cook it for another 10 minutes. This goes into the 350-degree oven. There it is, hot out of the oven. Cheese is melted. I actually put it in for 5 extra minutes because when I pulled it out, the middle was still like really watery. So I let it, you know, cook, and now it's firm. Now it's good. So that's it. This serving size is 1/6 of this pan. 1/6, so you just divide it in half this way and into thirds that way, and it's a big old chunk. And the macros are on the website. It's so good. I cannot wait to dive in right now. I will have the link to this recipe in the info box down below. I'm sorry. Can we just talk about how this little girl is buried in her bed? Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're so snuggled in there. What are you doing? Oh my goodness, what a sleepy day for Gracie. So I just spent some time, oh, by the way, my jewelry box is downstairs now instead of up in my office. Finally, I convinced my husband to have me move it down here. We put Gracie back over there because she seems to be handling it better than she was before. And so my jewelry box is down here now because I kept taking my jewelry off at night and just leaving it down here because I wasn't going back upstairs. But all that to say, I was, you know, in the mindset of Rise to Style Society and fashion and this and that, and I can get into more of that stuff later, what I'm thinking and everything, but all I'm going to say is I went through my jewelry and found jewelry hidden away in pouches and stuff that I had completely forgotten that I had. So I went through and I reorganized all of it and saw what I have. This is my grandmother's ring who had passed away, Eric's grandmother's ring. I have all sorts of stuff in all of these drawers, and I have everything nice and laid out now, and just like, look at all the options. Look at all, these are all chains and stuff that I need to figure out what to do with. But the thing that was most alarming to me is the necklaces that I found that I completely forgot that I had. Like this one, with this really nice closure that's very easy for me to use. It's super simple, but it works great. And then this one, I remember when this is a Bauble Bar piece, I think, and I was so excited when I got this one. It's like a little edgy, but still blingy, and I used to wear these a lot. And then there's this piece right here that I finally took out of its red pouch. This piece of jewelry, you guys, I got when my aunt and I went to Italy when I was 18 years old. I have not once worn this. Not once. It's made out of like one of their fancy crystal brands. It has this clasp on it. I have not once worn it. And so I decided that it deserved the chance to hang there and breathe and whatnot. And so I had all of that. And then on the other side, the lighting is terrible, but on the other side, we have all of like the more costumey looking stuff. Right? Like this really eclectic piece, this big double layered thing, this beaded thing. We've got more beaded stuff down here. Like, and I don't use any of it. And I need to start. And then the earrings too. Like, I have all of these. I found these. I forgot I owned these. I forgot I owned these. I forgot I owned these. I used to wear these all the time. These are in my perfect summer colors. There's navy beads and a light blue bead. Like, and I don't wear any of it. All of that to say, my friends, this style course really has me thinking style forward, and it's something that I'm struggling with right now because I'm not loving how I'm feeling in most of the clothes in my closet, but I'm actively obviously working on losing weight, and so it's actually a really big driver for me right now to stay on plan and whatnot. But the jewelry is something that I can put on to elevate anything I put on, even if it's just a tank top and shorts. And I don't do it. And so this is my vow to you that I'm going to start, because my goodness, it's such an easy way to elevate what it is you're wearing, right? Accessorize. All right, here is my lunch. This is a giant salad. This is actually also the Skinnyish Dish. You're gonna notice a theme today. This is the Skinnyish Dish cheeseburger salad, only there's no cheese on it. Because I don't need the macros for the cheese. I will save them for later to put cheese on my chili. But here it is. It's a homemade dressing that's part Greek yogurt, part light mayo, ketchup, mustard, dill relish, and I put a lot more spices in there in terms of flavor, like garlic and stuff, than it calls for, because I could still taste the non-fat Greek yogurt and I didn't like it. So the more flavor in there, the better. And so you put some of the dressing on there and you just mix it all up. It's got ground beef, cucumbers, a dill pickle, crispy onion strings, bacon, and of course, all the green produce. I'm using a Mann's, M-A-N-N-S, like superfood blend instead of just plain lettuce. And I was surprised, my husband was too, at how good the salad is. It's very, very good. You have to like get used to the taste and be like, oh wait, this really is like cheeseburgery tasting. It's very interesting, but once you get into it, it's really, really good. The amount of time I have spent messing around with colors this afternoon is absolutely insane. If you saw my live stream from yesterday, which was the 13th of July, I talked about wanting to do a website overhaul and kind of Diva and the Divine rebrand to kind of help propel me forward and inspire me and motivate me even more in this whole rebranding of going from like a Weight Watchers personality and a weight loss personality to your healthy homemaker personality. And so I've been wanting to kind of give everything a clean sweep and an overhaul. And one of the things that I've been thinking about doing is expanding my brand coloring. And I currently have two colors. I have this purple and I have this mint. Like, that's on everything. And I found, while I love the colors and they have served me very, very well, I want to kind of branch out and expand that color palette, like still have colors very similar to that or the same colors integrated into something that's like 4, 5, or 6 colors instead, because it gives me a little bit more versatility when it comes to using my brand colors in my content. And so I started messing with color palettes today, and I've literally been sitting at the computer for like, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, doing nothing but color palettes. I'm done. I'm done. It's fun, but it's overwhelming. I'm like, look at all the pretty colors, and then you go from like this shade of purple to like 3 shades higher, and you're like, oh gosh, do I like that better than the one previous? And I'm toggling back and forth, and I just don't know, and oh my goodness, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, but it's fun. It's exciting to start to toy with this brand redesign. I also want to do a logo redesign. My logo is nothing special. It's just the specific font that I have and the way I have it lined up. But changes are coming. Changes are coming, and I'm excited. All right, here is dinner, the final Skinnyish dish of the night. This is her cheeseburger chili. And then on top of the cheeseburger chili, we have Trader Joe's mozzarella cheese, bacon crumbles, and French onion crispy things. So it's delicious. It turned out really, really well. It's a cheeseburger Skinnyish Dish themed day. All right. All right, my friend, this is my final thing for the evening. It is this new dessert that I started eating thanks to my coach. This is a caramel rice cake with PB2. Yes, I reintroduced PB2 into my life because for now, with the restriction of my calories and my fat macros, I need a peanut butter option that does not have as much fat in it. And the macros on PB2, I forgot how awesome they are. 1.5 fat, 5 carbs, 1 fiber, and 6 protein for only 60 calories. And when you just add a little bit of water, you get a great peanut butter substitute. It's awesome. And then I topped it with mini M&Ms. Mini M&Ms, you guys, and so this is a great treat. Under 200 calories, got some protein in there, and then of course you get your chocolate fix, and it is the perfect way to end the day, which is exactly what I'm doing. This is it, kitchen closed, and that is what I eat in a day for fat loss.